Hello?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Say again.
What?
I'm sorry, I
Hello?
forgot about. I slept in
Hmm.
and I just had my breakfast
Yeah, I could make
and
this go right in.
turned my iPad on.
I couldn't make this go right for some reason. I don't know. Hmm.
Hey, have you heard from Christian?
Uh, yeah, I asked him how he was doing. He said he overdid it, so he's gonna have to wait a little while before he does it again.
He overdid what? He's in Thailand, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't want to. I can't say that on public here.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's like when you're ready, but they're not, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
So probably, well, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if he's coming here or not.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's going around. Yeah, but I don't know about down here.
Right, right. I don't know if he's going to Butuan or not.
Might have to do that another time because apparently he's only allowed to be out of the country X amount of days or weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because he's on a disability. They want to know everything, like when Sleepy
Oh,
Joe got it.
you mean he can only be out of his home country for so long?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking Thailand. I was going to say
No.
everybody makes their visa runs, when they're in Thailand.
Well, yeah, they go down. A lot of them go down to Myanmar, but they got some war going on down there. I think that's the closest one to anything. Than Pattaya, other ones. She
Uh,
reminded
Did
me of that guy I had to watch.
did you get to see
Okay.
your Packers earlier?
No, I watched
The reruns.
the highlights, but
It wasn't much of a game. I went to bed
no.
like
Well,
after halftime.
they're third. They're in third place with their 9-3 record, and as it would stand today, they would be on the road in a wild card game. But the defense, because they switched it to a 4-3 from a 3-4, it really it really hadn't been that great. So, I mean, if they get in there, they get in there. But unless something changes, they'll just lose.
Well,
They
that
don't.
game. I mean, they had the Miami guys were up there in Green Bay, and it was like what in the
Well,
high 20s. They were checked out in the first half. They didn't. You could tell they didn't want to be there. So
yeah. What's his name last year? That Tugaloa, where his name is from Hawaii. He was in I don't know where that was. If he was in Cincinnati or something. There was some playoff game. This dude was just like, fuck this.
yeah, he should have gave it up, man. He's had too many concussions.
Dude,
He's
look,
he's
that
he's
dude's
like Brett Favre already. This early in his
he's
career.
not worse than that, man. He's a right-handed guy, and he throws it left-handed, which it shows. And why did they ever stick with him? I have no idea. He's nothing special.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way he throws. It's kind of like he throws kind of like when you have a pickup game when you're a kid,
Yeah. Yeah, he should have. This last concussion, he should have
They should have let him go, man.
just gone. Well, he should have just gone on permanent injured reserve. Still collect his money because I think if you officially retire, then you give up your contract, right?
I don't
But
I don't
but I
know.
mean, if he just stays on concussion, like injured reserve for the rest of his contract, he still gets
Look,
paid. So
look, I've been there. I've had way more than anybody should. And the last one I had in 2016, I think. Yeah, that was it. And that's the one that fucking did me in. Affect my vision, permanent nerve damage in my left ear. I can't wear a hearing aid in there because it fucking hisses all the time.
what year was that again?
2016.
2016. Wow.
Yeah, well, I worked the whole time. I shouldn't have been working, man. These motherfuckers, I don't know. I went to they got this like this. It used to be called Trinity. It's St. Luke's. The bigger hospital absorbed it. It's down by the lakefront in a city called Cudahy. And I waited till I waited a week to go. I had a 4-day weekend. I said, well, I'll go on Saturday night. And they gave me the CAT scan, but the CAT scan don't show everything. And I told the guy, man, I said, I drive for a living. My eyes are sensitive to light, man. I get nauseous. They're fucking like, oh, you'll be okay. So I worked the whole time when I had it. I shouldn't have been working. But it was a bitch trying to get help. I mean, they can't help you, but I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing, and then I got to the point where that's enough for me. I don't want to get out there. I can't take this shit. It just the doctor would call me up on the phone. I'd be fucking stuttering, man. And I'd have to gather myself like 3 or 4 times before I could get a sentence.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, and that's scary as shit, man. When you try to talk and you can't get the words out.
Yeah, I think I probably had several when I was a kid. Just playing like backyard football and sports. But I know when I was like, I must have been like 11, 12 years, maybe somewhere between 10 and 12 years old. I was out riding my bike with my buddies, on the street, and there's gravel on the side. The road was paved, but there was gravel on the edges.
Yeah.
And we were, showing off, doing like swinging back and forth.
We used to tar the roads like that. We used to tar the roads and put stone down.
I wiped out. My bike went out from under me, and I hit my head, and I was out. And luckily, I was in front of my neighbor was a nurse, and she came running out, and they called my uncle lived next door because my parents were out. They went to bingo or something that night. So technically my brother was babysitting me, right? But so my uncle, I heard he came down, threw me over his shoulder to take me to the emergency room, and I threw up all over his back, right? Well, I don't remember that, but first sign of concussion is nausea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next thing I knew, I woke up, I was in the emergency room. They were picking gravel out of my knee,
Right.
And but I swear, ever since that, I cannot remember, stuff before like 10 years old. You know how you can remember like who your second grade teacher was or third grade? I can't remember any of that. I think that really knocked, I damaged that section of memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I had that fall, because I can't remember any of that early childhood stuff.
I had gravel in my back and my shoulder from going over the handlebars. But when I fell down, it's like my head hit so fucking hard, man. It was unbelievable. And my back, right on my spine, there's right where this ice mounted. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And then I laid there trying to catch my breath because I knocked the wind out of me, man. I fuck. And I finally got it because I went to light a cigarette and I got it lit and I slipped.
Huh.
And I went up and I came down real hard. And I think there was a cop across the street because where I lived was the city of St. Francis. You cross the railroad tracks and there's a border with the city of Cudahy. And I think the St. Francis police guy was watching me to see if I was going to get up. Because that car sat there the whole time.
Uh-huh.
And I got up, I looked for my cigarette, man. I'm okay. Fuck, I got to go to work because I got to make money, Not like some other fucks out here. But I was nauseous, and I couldn't sit still. I couldn't focus on nothing, and it would just be like my back hurt too at the same time, so I couldn't lay flat on my back. I had to lay on my side. And when I laid on my side, my brain was pounding like a fucking heartbeat. And all the years I had questions, none of them fuckers ever answered this stuff, except when I had the MRI, that 5.5 hour one, and that tube, with my back hurting like it was. That was a bitch, man. And they showed a massive amount of fluid above my eyes and in the back of my head, and all the time I'm going there. The last time I go there, they got this resident student or whatever, and she said she was the only one that ever told me. She says, "Well, you can see because you have little canals, little like they're like tendons, like arteries, where the fluid flows. It makes a
Right.
cycle throughout your whole body." And she says, "Well, you can tell it was from the fall because mine were like a lot of them were fucking kinked, or smashed."
Right.
So that was the buildup, and I can't tell you how many times they sent me for a drug test at work because they look at my eyes, they go, "This guy's fucked up," But I went every day, I never
Now,
stopped.
did you that fall? Was it just because you slipped, or was it because you passed out?
No, it was a slip, man.
Oh, yeah. See, my,
And
my
one-
older brother, the one that passed away, he worked at an airline, in the maintenance hangar at the airport, yeah, in the tool crib, and he said, well, he was at work one day and he just passed out. He fell like a tree, and his head just hit. It was on cement, you know,
well,
and that had to do something really screwed up
I
because he was never right since that.
I I did it. I did it like that when I was out. I think it was about 23, maybe 24. I lived above a bar, so I was in there. I used to try to catch up with everybody when I got off at midnight. And my friend was living with me at the time, his girlfriend, and I went to the bathroom. Last thing I remembered, and then I all of a sudden hear these guys going, "Hey, hey," my underwear are halfway down my leg, and he goes, what happened? I said, "Well, what do you fucking mean?" And I come to the realization that I passed out. I slipped and I fell, and the toilet knocked me out.
Wow.
Because then when I woke up in the morning, I felt around my eye, and I was like scabbed, like dried blood. What the fuck happened? How'd this happen? But a while back, I was saying, I was telling Simon about this, and the Twit was listening to it, and he made fun of it. And I'm telling you, anybody out here, anybody that listens to this, you don't ever want to fucking your brain is the center of everything. And if you're fucked there, your whole body's your shit. You're fucked. It's a serious thing when it happens. That's why that Miami guy, they should have fucking never allowed him back on the field after that one game.
Right.
Because this dude, he's what, 30s, early 30s, something like that.
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he don't think of nothing now, but I'm telling you, man, when he gets to be our age, that fucker, he's gonna be,
Yeah, he's
but
gonna be goofy.
whether he
I
can, yeah, uh, it's
I think that coach Mike Ditka.
yeah.
He I don't know. I think he might have dementia now or something.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
He was from this area, real close, Western Pennsylvania,
Oh yeah.
and he went to University of Pitt. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think he's probably he's what? He's in his upper 80s probably now.
Yeah, I used to watch him on. ESPN. He used to do one of those, round table discussion things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so well, of course I remember him, man. That guy, boy, when their own fans turned on him, he would, get in fights and
Yeah.
all kinds of shit. He's got a steak joint in Chicago, I think.
Oh yeah, he's got one here too. Ditka's Steakhouse. I've never been to it. It's only like 3 miles from me. but
They had
I've
one.
never been.
They had one in, or Leroy Selman was a popular player from Tampa Bay.
Right.
When they were from its inception,
The
he
Selman
passed away.
brothers.
He passed away a few years ago, but he's a pretty popular place too. It might have been a rib joint. There's nobody can make barbecue like a black guy can. It just there's something about that sauce, like Sweet Baby Ray's, that kind of thing.
Yeah, man. Growing up in the Northeast, I never experienced real good barbecue till I went in the military. And was
Yeah.
stationed down south, and that was a big revelation there.
Hell
How
yeah,
much I
man.
was missing.
That's right up there with pizza to me. You get it,
Yeah.
you get it right, man. You go back. We went to a place. Well, I had better ribs back in the '80s or late '80s, early '90s. We went to a place called Porky's, I think. Corky's or Porky's, and
Porky, like the pig. Yeah.
yeah, I think I couldn't remember. I could have swore it was Corky's for some reason, but you got a crock of baked beans, and we had the beef ribs, and the stuff would just fall right off the bone.
Oh
It's
man,
just-
you wouldn't want to be anywhere within a half a mile of me if I ate barbecue and baked beans. you, I could clear an auditorium all by myself. Believe me.
You can sit there and look at fun. So anybody out there with that type of injury or something, see, people have never. You wouldn't wish that on nobody. So if
I
you
know, but when you're young, you don't think like that. You
But
you
if
think
you're-
about getting back in the game, and proving
If
how
you-
big and bad you are, right? So
yeah, when you're older though, life ain't over with yet for a lot of people. So you got to be careful what you talk shit about, what you talk
but you
about.
don't. My point
Because-
is, you don't know that when you're 30 years younger.
No,
You don't
but
have that-
but
you
I'm
don't
talking.
have that. And I don't care how many old people can try to talk sense into you. You don't listen to them because we were in the same place.
Yeah, I'm talking about older folks that their life they probably have enough years where any one thing could happen to alter that. And either to one of your either yourself or your other people in your family. So
Yeah, now at our age, our biggest fear is falling down, hitting our head.
You know what?
Like you did in the bathroom. Just something stupid on a sink or on the toilet. That could really screw you up.
We had this. I met this one guy, young guy, who was bartender back. He was 23, like my daughter's age when I met him. I think I was 40, 41, something like that. And and then I got him on Messenger, and I said he just celebrated his 43rd birthday. The dude lives his life the way he wants to. He go into a bar and you say, "Who didn't you sleep with?" It'd be easier. But he never wants to get married. He didn't want any kids, and he sticks to it. And then he's a fantastic kid, man. And I sent him a message once. I said, "Do you realize you're the age that I was when I first met you?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's been over 20 years, And anyway, there was this guy that came into the bar, a mailman. He worked postal worker. I think his name was David. And everybody loved this guy. He was in his 50s, I believe, middle or 50s maybe. And he fell and hit his head and he killed him.
Yeah.
Fell backwards. And Max McGee was a tight end for the Packers there. He lived in Minnesota and he fell off a ladder cleaning gutters. He was in his 80s. It broke his neck.
Yeah.
Killed him. So I as many times as I've fallen backwards, I've always been able to get up. Go on. But there's something that's detached with my vision. That has something to do with my vision and the brain where it relies. There's a whatever the fuck it's called, man. I don't even know. but it's offset, like it's broken, like, and instead of traveling straight, there's it jogs over to one, a little bit to the left. It's like a separated, I don't know what the fuck you call it, but there ain't nothing I can do about that shit. You know, that's why I say, thank God you have what you have. You are in pretty good shape because there are others in the world that are far less fortunate than you are. Whenever anybody don't think they got it bad, you think of that shit. Or better yet, go sit in a waiting room in a neurology department at a hospital and look at all the people in there. That you'll go when you think yours is bad, and you look at some of the older folks and the younger ones that can't control themselves. That's why I said your brain is everything in your head, man. That's the worst possible spot to have an injury. It controls everything.
Yeah, I remember. I think the only grandfather I knew, he died when I was like 10, but he had Parkinson's and his one arm shook, all the time.
Yeah.
And I could never understand, as a kid, because we can always control, right, our movements. But I just couldn't understand how, like an arm could shake constantly like that.
Well, my wife's does. My wife's does now. She had to take medicine because I forget what happened with her, but she has to take medicine so it doesn't shake. And me, when I get worked up, it depends what it's for.
Is hers just like one arm or something that shakes?
Just on her, yeah, on her it is. Her left arm, I think it's her left. But for me, if I get into something and it's, I don't know what, man, I'll start knees to shake, arms shake, hands shake. I don't know. It's like getting real nervous about something. I don't know, something like that. But what are you gonna? You don't get no points for being fucked up. It's just like I go right back to where I fell down like that. I shouldn't have been never behind that wheel again. But I had a mission to save up as much money as I could before I came back here. So I'm the kind of guy, I go till I can't go. That's the way I am. My dad did it. I don't even think I can only remember my dad being off of work. They had one strike. Other than that, I don't recall him ever taking off. I mean, he was just he worked the 40 hours. He didn't work anymore. So he got what he got. I mean, he was going to get the same pension no matter how many hours he worked where he was. I was there 15 years. He was there 40. I'd have been 38 years, I think, because they ceased operations in Milwaukee. They got they have their offices there, Creek by the airport, and they got some kind of manufacturing facility in North Carolina now.
Man, if the place I quit college to work at this one mill, and if they hadn't closed, let's see, I started when I was 19. So just think how long I could have worked, till I was 60 or 60. I'd had over 40 years.
I just love that smell of metal. I don't know why, man. I don't know
And when I started there, the old timers, there was like 10 of us, young guys started as laborers, new hires. And the old guys that worked there, they said, "Man, I've been here 30 years. You guys are lucky to get a job,
Yeah.
But it lasted like a year and a half.
Believe me,
all the other ones.
Believe me, the higher ups in your union, they knew that was coming. That just didn't happen overnight. I had a nephew that was hired, a goofy one from my older sister. And he's probably the most workingest one out of all. The girl don't work. Well, she walks dogs.
What they did? See, they were paying us. We were up in the Northeast. We were part of the United Steelworkers Union, right? But what the company did, they also had a plant in Houston, Texas, and where they paid their employees like half of what we made. So
Oh,
what they
yeah.
do, they closed our place down and moved down to Houston, where they probably weren't unionized there, and they paid them half as much as they
No,
had to
yeah,
pay us.
didn't have it. It wasn't called right to work then back then, but what else? They had another. Well, they had Harley Davidson got founded in Milwaukee, and they had a plant. I think they closed the plant in Pennsylvania. Not sure, but that's where, because all the new people that come through the door, and my cousin's one of them. They got no health care. They have to get their own health care. So you got older unions selling the shit down the river. The people that are going to be fucked are going to be when the ones that don't have it. I'll have more people working there than the people that do have it, and that'll happen sometime down the road. And then you watch them. They might just say, "Oh yeah, you fucked us. Now we're going to do this shit to you." They're going to have the union president and executive board, and they'll probably all be affected by not having health care while they were working there, because that was negotiated years ago. So it's always something with them, but they always want something. Where I worked, I'd rather had $1,600 a month than $800. I'd left if I never even gave it too much of a thought. The work I did was great, and I got paid good for doing it. So, I was in between marriages, so I didn't give a shit. I'm taking home at that time, I think $300 some dollars a week. That's pretty freaking good. 1985. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think in '81 I was. Let me see, how much was I making? I was making pretty good money. I was bringing home about 280, 300 a week.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I remember my older sister say, "I can't believe you can make that kind of money." It's like, wow,
yeah.
I got lucky and got hired on there. That's
I
why I
was
quit
making
college.
I was making 18 in 1999,
Yeah.
and my job, they eliminated it. Yeah, and I had to work the lowest labor grade, whatever jobs by seniority for me. I was a skilled production, and labor grade 7 was unskilled. So it's pretty much all those things I used to do for years before I got to the opportunity. So I would have dropped down from 18 to 12, and I'm like, I can't fucking do that. When you're used to living at 18. Then when I came to then I worked at a auto mixing plant. They made adhesives, and that was, they only had 450, 401 there, company matching. That they had no pension. It was a Japanese company called Semodyne, and you had to dump 3,000-pound skids a night and build 3,000 skids. So you're handling, 25 bags of 50 pounds, 30 bags of 100 pounds, and then like 50 gallons of oil. They kept it in the 50-gallon drums, although they might have 20 pounds in there, whatever, 20 gallons. And while your batch was mixing, you had to go build Go build the skid. Summertime in there, the fucking mosquitoes inside your glasses, in between your face and your glasses. And you can't, a lot of this shit you can't hit. If you itch it, man, you might have a problem. Some of this stuff is so fine that once the bag is opened on it, you can't sweep it up because the fucking air moves it.
Right.
It's just, so I thought to myself, I ain't doing this physical shit. I mean, I worked there. I was in my upper 30s, and I said, "Nah, I ain't doing this for a fucking living." Because I was telling a couple of guys, one guy worked in the sheriff's department. I took that test twice. There was 300 some questions. I didn't know there was one part of it apparently that I didn't get, but I couldn't figure what the fuck do they want, you know? The 300 questions were they had questions that repeated themselves that were written a different way, like 3 times, you know, with the same answer. So they were testing your memory, you know, I guess. So I would have, if I'd have known that the bus driving gig, I could have retired early. I'd have went there, you know, when I was 30 years old. But I don't know if I'd have lasted because I always spoke up for myself. You know, I wouldn't have lasted, man. But out of a lot of guys made the mistake that they didn't check into their, because once you stop, when you retire, you're not putting in the Social Security no more. So these guys were retiring at 47, then they would get to, you know, 60 or 62 and go, what the fuck, you know? But anyway, I thank God it was a blessing in disguise that that job went to shit because I went to the, you know, I more than doubled my pension. So I can't complain about that. I mean, it was a motherfucker. Believe me. You having to deal with people like you don't have a degree in social work, you know, and you're trying to figure this shit out. Why would somebody say what they would say? You know, it took me up until the last 6 years that I was there to say fuck it and just go with the flow. You know, who gives a shit whether you pay me or not? You know, you're only supposed to ask them once. You challenge them once. Okay, fuck it. You know, somebody come on, they start their story, I just wave them back. I don't even want to hear it, man. You're wasting my time. You know, you wasted a couple of minutes of my life I can't get back. You know, so just some people get pissed. I said, listen, I don't want to know your fucking problem. You know, don't you guys care? Yeah, but I don't need to know it. You know, you don't need to lay it out. I'm not the doctor. You know, that you're laying on the fucking couch. And, you know,
not their therapist.
Yeah, man. I mean, but it's tough. We try to, you know, if it weren't for where I came from, I wouldn't have, you know, I don't know if I'd have lasted because, you know, you meet or you live around different folks. So you kind of have a bit of an understanding as to the mindset, you know, a little bit. But I tell you what, man, if you got any kind of, if you're witty and you got pretty good wit, you know, you lose it because you don't even have a meaningful conversation from most of the people, and it just zaps all your fucking energy. You know, you don't want to, you know. But you know, I used to get in there going, oh man, I got another fucking, you know, 20 years. Oh, but it came, and it came and it went. Here I am. You know, I was able to do the things I had done because of that. So you get what you get from what you do, what you get out of it, you know.
When was your retirement date? What day?
November 1st
of
would it be 20? 4 years now.
2020.
Yeah, it would be 2020.
Yeah,
right?
mine was 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. Right at the end of October 2021.
You know, you said, "Oh, how's it feel?" The feeling, it felt so fucking good. It was such a relief, man. And my dad had just died like June 30th, you know, of that year. And I go, man, who can I go tell? You know, I thought, oh, it'd be real cool to go. I'll go over there to their apartment. And as soon as I said it, then I realized, you know, it didn't matter. That was kind of a bummer for me. And my dad he was an asshole, all that other shit, but I wanted to share it with somebody that was retired.
Right.
So my sister was jealous. My oldest sister was jealous because she couldn't. She thought she could, but she couldn't. She's in one of these jobs, one of these places. She had to do 3 more
Is she
years.
retired yet now? That was a few years ago. Is she?
Well, she can't afford to be.
She
It's
hasn't
pointless.
worked enough yet?
No, well, she's worked enough, but it ain't enough to have a good pension. It's enough to pay your rent, maybe your car payment.
How much
You
is
gotta
she
get-
older than you? How much older?
Yeah, she's born in 59, August of 59.
So her age is probably full age is what, 66 or close to 60?
That's 66 in 10 months, and they're thinking of jacking that up to which they're going to have to for the folks down the road because they're not making as much money as the people before us. And,
Yeah, plus they've already spent what we put in a long time ago,
Yeah. So, I tried to tell her at my dad's the funeral at the cemetery. She's telling my other cousin, boy, yeah, next year I get to go on, get to retire. And I'm thinking, I said, no, you don't. She said, yes, I do. My friend gets this. I said, fuck your friend. That ain't you. I said, you're not going to be able to.
So
I said,
she getting close to 66 now? How old is she?
she's got to work the rest of her. I'm 63, so she's 60, 66. Yeah. She can't quit, man. I just told you, she worked a job where the money that she's going to be getting from that job, who knows, might be $1,000. I don't know.
Did she ever look into Social Security and see what her benefit's going to be at
No.
retirement age?
No, I tried telling that dumbass, but she wouldn't fucking go. She kept telling me about all her friends she knew. I'm like, and I tried to get her because I knew how much she worked.
But I mean, all she got to do is go on a computer, make an account, and see what it will be when she does reach full retirement age.
No, she didn't. She's one of these people that if she's crossing the railroad tracks before that, she'll go just in the nick of time so she don't get hit. She takes her forever to make a move. But I tried to tell her. I said because I talked to her after that. I said, you're gonna have to work the rest of your life whether you realize it or not. You might have enough for your rent and your food, and you got to work. She worked a part-time school bus driving
Well,
job.
I was pleasantly surprised at what I get, for my daughter, because under 18. I thought it'd be like $600 maybe, but dang.
No, it's like 80. It's 80 went from 80 to 100% or 150 what you make.
But yeah, because I always read on my statement, it's like if you die today, your wife would get like X amount, and if she has a child, under 18, she'd get, the maximum family amount was this,
Yeah, I thought. Well, you know what?
But
They used to.
I didn't think I got that while I was still living,
They used to give you those every 4 months, and then they stopped doing it. And I gotta tell you, because you were talking about that sign-on thing with the login ID or some other one.
Yeah, login gov now.
Well, listen, I get to keep the one I had. I don't have to do that one. They don't want you to do it if you already if you made your online account before September 3 years ago or some shit, at least 3 years or more. You don't have to do the one you're talking about.
Oh, well, I had to do it. I mean, and I had made mine a long time ago. So
Well, then you didn't have to, and you did it. That's what fucked it up.
yeah, I have one of these login.gov now.
Hey, Gary. I tried telling my sister back to that point. Gary, when are you gonna have your woman on here? I said, listen, it'd be easier if you go right now because if they're going to tell you, you don't, and it's going to be easier to take. Don't wait until that last year. She waited till the last year. So the money, I don't know how much she's getting, but the money she's getting will be enough for rent and a car payment or whatever. And she works the school bus job, which a lot of people, even after they're retired, work another job. So this is the same shit. But she got to work for food money or something, something like that.
I
But-
talked to this one guy I golf. He didn't golf with us much, but he was telling me he's 76 years old, right? And he was saying something like, "Oh, I don't get to come out much because I work." I said, "Well, you still work?" He said, "Well, I'm retired, but," he said, "I got this gig where I just drive." And I
Yeah.
said, "What do you mean drive?" He said, "Well, I drive for this company. They just want me to go pick up the rental car at the airport,
Yeah, that's what my
drive
dad.
this guy to they go check out towers that the electric lines run on." He said,
Yeah.
"I just got to drive their worker, you know." He said, "There's no physical labor. I just drive them there, and if they need me to get out like a safety observer, for a few minutes, I do
Yeah.
that." He said they give me $20 for each meal of the day, 20 for breakfast, 20 for lunch, 20 for supper. He said they pay my hotel rooms, and they give him like $30 an hour
Ooh.
every hour while he's driving. I was
Wow.
like, wow. I said, but there's a limit on how much you can make while you work while you're retired, right?
I don't know if you can
It's
do
like
that.
it's like 17 grand a year or something.
I don't know if it's
If you're below your full retirement age, you can only earn so much a year.
yeah.
So, and it's like I think 17 grand, something like that now. But I said, man, working that job, you'd work it like a month or two and you'd already be maxed out, for like the year. I said,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good job, because all
My
you
dad-
got to do is go to the airport, pick up. You're driving like a nice new rental car all the time.
My dad used to do that for car dealers where they would do a dealer
Right, where
trade.
a dealer would need this vehicle over at this
Yeah.
dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew someone that did that too. They'd fly. Well, he worked for the airline, so he got to fly for free. So he'd fly, to say like Pittsburgh to Milwaukee, pick up a vehicle for the dealership, drive the vehicle back here, and they paid him for that. And his flying was free because he worked for the airline. So that's how he made his extra money.
Well, Gary, I don't have to do the ID thing because I made out my online thing. Because I remember that I was like 50, mid-50s maybe.
So
Because-
Tony, do you sign in under that SSA.gov still, or?
Yeah. I just click.
Okay. Well, I had an account, and then I couldn't remember my
Well-
password, or it was wrong. So they said, well, you got to do a login.gov or something like that. So that's what I do now.
Yeah, I did mine. I remember because I was thinking of going to the Philippines when I hit 57. I was 55 at the time, and I thought I was going to leave there with just that, whatever I got, over 1,000. And I'm glad I didn't. But I entered 3 ages. If I retire at 57, 59, or 61, what do I get? So I made that out, and it said, matter of fact, I have to enter mine twice because they send the code to your phone. I guess with the one you're getting or got, you could have it delivered by email, but me, I guess it's still phone. So I'm gonna have to coordinate with my sons, one of these days. But I have to enter it twice, and then it takes it. So I'm sure you got a notice. I had a notification. Yeah, he's in Thailand. Got a notification because there's a 2% or 2.5% increase or something. But they jacked up the what do you call it to from 168 to 185.
Yeah, and the actual cost of living, the inflation's what, like 7 or 8% at least, so, and they give you 2%. So,
well, my mom and dad,
joke.
my mom and dad, yeah, they would, they hardly ever got a raise. And when they did it offset the increase
Right.
You know,
Because their health insurance would go up or something, or
but
Medicare or whatever.
they're trying to, I saw some talk on the union website. The company, it's a county thing, but the company, a different company runs it for them. Well, now that company did it for 38 years. Now it's just quasi some shit, you know, and they're trying to get it so they don't give you a pension anymore. They just, you know, have a company matching 401 or 457 they got. And
so Gary, how are you liking it now? Are you adjusted? Everything's working out for you?
I'm glad I'm the age I am, man. I'm so freaking, I wouldn't want to be any younger for nothing, man. And all this advice I gave my son, I said, hey, why are you always looking for the girl with the perfect body? I said, well, you know, there's more to it. I mean, there's a whole lot of shit. Everybody changes throughout the years.
What, the son that just got married?
Yeah, then I would say, yeah, the video I think I sent you the video.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Was that your ex with him there, and that her new squeeze?
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I said, you can forget about Social Security View, but I said, put money away in your 401, and he's adjusted now, and set your goal like 50 or 55 and get the hell out. And you know, like a year and a half later, he goes, yeah, I'm doing this and that. I said, what for? He goes, because I don't want to work till I'm 55. Wow. Where'd you hear that from before, you know? Yeah, that was well done, man. I was surprised. I was really, that was really nice. I guess I didn't see the ex-wife's husband standing in a fucking photo opportunity for that one too. I mean, see, my son thinks I just have sour grapes, but I said, have you ever been divorced? He said, no. I said, have you ever had a daughter get married? No. Then you wouldn't know what the fuck I was talking about then, would you? You know, you take a picture of everybody, but this guy's got some kind of an issue with the exes. And he's 50 whatever years old. I mean, I think he's 3 years younger than her, and you got to hold his heckin' hand like a little kid, you know. Matter of fact, I was driving back. Thanks, Gary. I was driving back, and I had my cruise set. You know, I had my Camry at the time. So everybody's coming back from up north. So I just set it for 55 or 60. It stayed in the right lane. And there they come flying by me because they live in just north of Milwaukee. I forget what it's called. But I see him. He's always animated. He's sitting there bitching about something, and she's got her head on her left hand. You know, like, oh fuck, not this shit again. You know. I tried to say that to my son. He goes, I don't see that. You know, of course you don't see that. I mean, she's like, she thought she had it bad with me. Marrying him was like marrying a guy like my father, which was fucking real bad.
My oldest brother, who's the Vietnam vet, well, his first wife and father of his two sons, or mother of his two sons, when she saw my mom pass, she asked, you know, people, she said, do you mind if I come to the funeral? We said, of course not, you know, there's no problem with you coming, you know.
I wasn't allowed.
She was your mother-in-law, you know.
I wasn't allowed to do it. I was told I'd rather you did for her father.
Yeah, but
and I told that to her mother. Her mother since passed away, but I told that to her back when my daughter got married a couple years ago. I said, you know, Joanna, I wanted to come, and I was told that they'd rather I didn't. And she looked up at what's his name. She was like, oh yeah.
I don't think it's anybody's uh, right to say who can and cannot come to someone's funeral.
Dude, I knew these
You know,
people for like
if
3
you were
years.
part of their life, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the whoever survivors think of you. It's what the person
Yeah.
you're going there out of respect.
Well, that's because he would have had a fucking shit fit. That's
Well,
why.
who cares? Get
That's
over
what I,
it. You know?
that's what I said. I said, Joanna wanted to come, but I couldn't come.
Yeah. Well,
Now she's got her fucking work cut out for her with that
Yeah.
dude. Damn, man. Anyway. I knew these people for over 30 years, man. I mean, jeez.
right.
They do a lot of walking, Oh, yeah.
Yes, Gary. The end of September, 5 days before her 100th birthday. Yeah, she did. But she had a good long life, and we were fortunate to have her. So
Yeah. Fucking been crazy. I'm 62 years old and I still get these fucking things. Yeah.
let's see. We got from the few years ago when we were all getting on your live stream. Now Gary's over there, Arnold's over there, Christian's in the vicinity. So, and you're there.
Yeah.
So that's 4 people since your live stream. When did you start your
Who, me?
live stream in Wisconsin? Was it like 4 years ago?
Now this is 139.
Well, you were. Remember,
Yeah.
you were sitting there with your hoodie on and ordering pizzas all the time.
Yeah, it was toward the end of everybody being on Chris's. Whenever that was. I think that was in
Right.
2020 or
So it's been
14.
like 3 or 4 years now.
I say 4, I think. Christian would know that more than
Well,
that.
when did you start numbering these? Because you said it was like 130
Right.
something.
From the beginning. From the beginning, except the first one I did on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Christian got me into so it's 139.
Yeah,
Not
but there's
always.
52 weeks in a year, so that's only just over 2 years, right? 2.5
Yeah,
years.
a lot of
But you
times.
missed some here and there, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I was going to do that tonight.
Yeah, this is it's the day after Thanksgiving. Everybody's off work.
That's what I
school, and
think.
we slept in, and I looked at the clock. It was like 8:15, 8:30. So I got up and made breakfast. I forgot all about it being Friday and your live stream. Good thing you sent me a message.
I did because I wasn't gonna,
I can't believe they're going to be showing college football games starting at noon today on a Friday. So
Yeah, that always happens this time of the year. Christian, I don't know when he's gonna be. You know what? Nobody's ever prepared for that end, man. I mean, I don't. I didn't even ask. My father was sitting there. They pretty much starved him to death because he had, like I got, Barrett's esophagus, his reflux. He couldn't take food by a tube. It would just come up. So when he was sitting there, and that he had this thing on, and man, his heart was strong because it was like when you see those people get zapped with those electrode things.
right.
Yeah, it looked like that. His chest would rise up real
Were they
far.
feeding them intravenously?
I don't know what I don't even think they were feeding him at all, man. They couldn't. And I don't know whether I didn't know whether he was in a coma or just sleeping or what. I never asked. I never woke him up. I just gave him, I was in there talking, and this worker came in and she turned right around and went out, man. Because I kind of was looking toward the door, when she walked in.
How long was he in a coma at the end?
I don't know if he was in a coma. That's the thing. I don't know if he was just asleep or he was like sedated. I have no idea. I just thought about this the other day. I finally got some bug killer spray. I got it from, I had to go online, Lazada, to get this carpenter answer. Pain in the ass, man. I should have never allowed her uncle to put this woodwork in here because it's all fucked up, you know. By the time I got this stuff, and those carpenter ants bite, man. That shit hurts. I picked up something on top of my dresser in my bedroom. Like, what the fuck are they doing here? Or the air conditioner. They weren't coming from the line, the electric line that runs, you know, from the plug. They were inside the casing, so I hosed it down, you know, and I got all them. I don't know where the hell they came from, but this stuff is pretty good.
No,
So,
Gary, I haven't heard from Bud. Haven't heard Gear. I know Gear. His birthday was on Facebook. I wished him a happy birthday, but
yeah,
I haven't heard
well,
from Gear or any of those guys.
Bud
Garrett,
was
Dyke,
on here a
none of them.
while ago. Bud was on here a while ago. Might be one of the ones in the background that are the twit.
Don't know what Simon's doing today.
Yeah, him too. Maybe he's got pillow talk going on, and they don't celebrate like we do. We should have a celebration, kicking their ass a couple different times and saving their ass. Yeah, if it weren't for those guys, we wouldn't be here. I just think when people got it made, when they're ruling the roost, they go out of their way to be assholes and lose it, you know. I mean, the Spaniards were here for 300 years. So, I mean, most of them came from Spain, and some came from Mexico, actual Mexicans. So
I meant to ask, I haven't heard from Ronald, but just in the last few days, there was a 5.7 earthquake up around, it was just north of Angeles City.
oh, really?
I'm sure he got some rocking and rolling. Yeah, I think it was on the 27th of November.
He didn't
So that
mention
was
it.
two and a half days ago. I saw on the earthquake website on the internet, 5.7. And
Yeah,
it's just north of Angeles City. So
they had them here too, man. They earlier this year, with a lot of them, and then there hadn't been one for quite a while. They get to that point where you're at the point of no return. It's either going to stop or stuff's going to start falling down, kind of thing.
Well, that's why you're smart. You have a one-story house, right? So
yeah.
the best thing to have. Is your roof is metal, correct?
Yeah. Matter of fact, her uncle, he did work on the foundation to strengthen it when it wasn't even in the plans. He said the way they got this right here, it wouldn't take much to make this place fall down. You know, it wouldn't be able to take a repeated, 10-second jolt.
Right.
And he did something, and I mean, we get rocking out here. We haven't had it happen in quite a while. So
what amazes me is all those very old Hispanic churches, like from the 1500s, and they're still standing,
Dude,
just think of all the earthquakes they had to experience.
They had one
hundreds of years.
In Bohol. Bohol's is just that whole island is just, it's like like Quake City, where there's just fucking, the landscape is just this up and down shit, because you had so many times. And they had showed a church, I think it was that guy Dan, he's from Iowa. You know what I'm talking about? They call him the Frog. He's kind of hunched over now. I forget. It got a ukulele intro to his music. His own brother made it, but he like around Tübingen or somewhere, or Ubai, there was a church, beautiful church, Spaniard, of course, and it suffered a lot of damage for the first time ever, and it was built in
1500s. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Bud came on here a couple months ago, maybe 2 months. I don't know. I could have built a two-story, but I'm thinking ahead there. I'm thinking there's no fucking way, even 10 years from
I
now.
wonder if Bud was affected by that. Remember that Hurricane Helene? Because it hit western North Carolina, and he's just west of that. He's in far eastern Tennessee. So
Well, yeah, you know what?
he might have been affected by that flooding.
The guys, well, him and his brothers, the house where he's staying, not so much, but
No.
but
Is he kind of on flatland, or is he up at elevation, or what? Because you've been there, right?
yeah. Well, the place we were at was his friend's place. He tried. I don't know if he's trying to scare me or what. He goes, "Yeah, it's really up in the." Well, I was in that area. It's kind of like in the back roads of Ohio, western Pennsylvania, where you got these buildings that look like they should have fallen down 30 years ago, And the guy Ben, his friend Ben, the guy who was the funny guy, that like drinking a lot. Oh, he drink that little shorties, you get like on the airplane and fucking Jack Daniels. He just downed it, man. It would rock him. You'd see him, like, oh man, one and his friend Donnie says, "Hey Ben, it looked like that one had a lot of bite in it, huh?" Yeah, a little bit, looked like it got to you. But he lives,
hilarious hanging out with them.
He lives across Ben's place. His girlfriend's around younger than us, maybe. Ben's about our age. And there's a river right across the street from where he stayed. And the place where he stays, it ain't no different. It is no different. The best comparison would be plywood. I mean, the wintertime, it's a freaking cold, even down there. I mean, they get in the 40s, and they're like, boo, boo. Yeah. But Ben was the guy that was. It was like something out of a movie when he like Joe Dirt or something, and he'd go fucking backing up. He's liquored up all the time, Thank God he's a nice drunk. He's a big guy, and they had something about the Nazis and something, or some plaque he had in his house. I go, good thing Model ain't with us. Shit. But Ben come backing up that truck. And I could see it. I knew that he had a couple of snorts throughout the day, and I jumped off that chair, man, in time, and he backed right into it. That chair was stuck between the bumper and the ground. We were like, whoa, fucking Ben was going, whoa. He said, Ben, you almost hit somebody. Fuck it, ain't. Man. Close don't count. It don't count. You didn't bother them, man.
It had to have been hilarious to
spend the
day with those guys. That would have been a lot of fun.
It was, man. Made it. What was we went around? We drank with the same guys every day. I mean, I've never been to Walmart so much for beer in my life, man. Because they get Bud and I are in there. I go, look at that. There was a mom and daughter there. They had like 40 double Ds, both of them. I go, there's one for you, one for me. So he bought natural something. Anheuser-Busch makes it.
Natural Light.
It was pretty good. It was better than that sweet tasting Bud Light. But hey Simon. But we drank with the same guys every day, but it was always these three locations. It was where Donnie, it was by Ben's house, or where Donnie lived, or where Donnie sold some land where you hardly see a car go by. I mean, it's all that peaks and valleys, you know. And we watched a cow and a bull got fucking pissed off with a donkey, I think. This cow got pissed and it chased the fucking donkey down.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah. So Simon, you coming to the Philippines, or you gonna be another one of these guys that say yeah and then they don't?
You finish that big job, Simon? Is it almost done? That big old warehouse or whatever you're working on?
Well, Gary, you don't bring his girl on the tube or nothing. Keeping us in the dark about that.
So Gary, you're getting your money's coming in okay, and you got your health care all figured out. Now you're living it good, huh?
Yeah, don't let nothing happen to you.
Well, you don't get much to say about that unless you go do something stupid like drive at night when no one's using their lights.
I don't drive at night here, man. It's unfreaking believable how many people go out there like on those pedicabs. They have no lights, no reflectors. I said, I dropped the mother-in-law off once after dark, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm not doing this no more. I said, you want to go back down to the other place? We'll go during the daylight because everybody's out, when the sun goes down. I mean, geez, you wouldn't even think there were that many people around, but when the sun goes down, and it's so freaking comfortable here, sit outside, you get a nice little breeze, especially during Australia getting their spring, going through their spring and stuff,
Yeah, that was rough for me because, I'm not a night person, but you're right. That's when it is cool, and that's when all the activity starts.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I wish I had this shit when I was younger. There ain't nobody else around here a couple of brother-in-laws, but they work during the week, so they're young enough where they can still get fucked up and go to work. Not quite finished, huh? Well, I'm not leaving this place on the weekend until I get money to buy ATM. Yeah, you only allow 20,000 a day. Yeah, I go outside my house, but I ain't walking down the road here. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do a video of and it works too. It isn't. I don't know. I don't think it applies to all of them, but the street lights that are very far and few in between. There's one that gets turned on by, the doorbell button.
Yeah, motion sensing.
No. The old time houses, not the old time, not the circular one with the black button, but the other one that looked like a little finger, lit up from behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a switch like that. You push it and it turns on the light, the street light. Somebody braved it and went up there and ran a line to it. I don't know. Freaking weird. I've never seen it before. Yeah, normally I'd be in bed already myself, man. I got to get up at those two. The school starts at 7. They get up
Simon's
at 6.
asking if you got your concrete driveway yet.
Yeah, I do. But it's curing as we speak. I had some
it's totally poured now? You're just waiting for it to cure?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had some stones dropped today. I spent 11,000. And because it was just a big mud rut from all the rain we've had, and the delivery truck coming up and down there just creating these big. So I bought 4 cubic yard for the road, or 5 for the road and 4 for the mixture for the.
I think it's 11:23 p.m. there now, right?
Here?
11:23. Yes.
Yeah. 11:23.
10:23 here, Simon. I think
Yeah.
it's 3:23 where you're at, correct?
Oops. Hit one there. You have that one? Oh. So the walls are up. They just got to do the like pillars. I don't know what that in between the block every so many feet, you know. And we put the stone down because the guy come around yesterday goes, either that or somebody ratted on us or something. Somebody goes, you got a fence permit? I said, I don't know. My wife's got shit all over the house. So I grabbed the one in here that I can see, and I took it out there, and it was all good with them. And I said, yeah, we're gonna put some stone down here because, yeah, you better check with the Brun guy. Yeah,
Hey,
check with the Brun guy.
I got a question, Simon. If I come over to visit you, do I get all the freebies that the other uninvited guests get?
Uninvited guests. Get uninvited.
Come on, Tony, you know.
I didn't know there was a got invited. Sure, there was. That was a planned trip. That's the one you're talking about. That was a.
Tony, how many millions of uninvited guests do we have in our country?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't go to, that reminds me of my older sister. She'd show up at your house and then, sitting there like, hey, where you staying tonight? Can I stay here? No, you fucking did. Weather's cold, yeah. Red skies. Catch the clap.
Too old for that, Simon.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing to clap about. Yeah.
These old giraffes can't reach the forbidden fruit now, Simon.
Mm. Central, I know. Huh? Yeah. Simon coming up.
Getting tougher and tougher to be a British subject, huh, Simon?
Simon, gonna come up, or you spanking the monkey?
Make sure your phone's charged up with all that solar or wind energy you got in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian is currently in Thailand, from what we know.
You don't know.
Visiting. I don't think he's staying there permanently, and he does
Yeah.
have plans to come visit Angeles and Ronald and those guys for a couple of weeks, I think.
He said he can only be gone X amount of time because he's on a disabled.
Is it like 4 months or something like that? 4 or 6 months, maybe? Maybe not even that.
Not even that. I don't. Yeah. I don't think. I don't know.
So if you're on disability, they want you to be within the borders, huh?
Well, I finally arrived here. I gotta shave every other day now. Shit grows like wildfire now.
Must be all that testosterone in your body.
Well, I might actually grow an actual goatee.
You'd be looking like, what's his name? Ho Chi Minh.
Dude, I see guys way younger than me, man. They're fucking whiter than white. Jeez.
I had a childhood buddy. He was in his early 30s. He was totally white. totally white.
My dad,
He had a great head of hair, but do you ever remember that singer Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers?
yeah.
His hair's been all white for a long time. My childhood friends was like that.
You know,
Like
they got this.
33 years old. The first time I saw him since we were kids hanging out, we were like 30 years old. I didn't even recognize him.
Do you remember that guy that did those Glad commercials? The man from Glad. He was white, had white hair, and he was dressed. This dude was 29 years old when he was doing that. My dad started getting gray hair at 17. So my son too, my oldest son.
Tony, I was on a subway in Tokyo, and I saw this dude with white hair. I figured it was a punk rocker, Japanese dude. I saw him from behind, and he turned around. He was a what do you call it, albino?
Yeah.
Oh man, it freaked me out. Never saw a Japanese albino guy.
Yeah,
All Americans.
Hey, Simon.
How's it going?
Yeah, right.
Good. Hey, if I come over to visit, will you put me up in one of those 5-star hotels and give me all the freebies that the other people, or do I have to arrive in a dinghy to get that?
No, you can come anytime. I'll look after you. I've got a place in the pigeon coop.
There you go.
Back to that, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll
Just
go there.
clean them out.
I won't need a mosquito net. I'll need a tarp for the pigeon droppings, right, son?
No, that's for him to stay in there. You get to sleep upstairs.
Why are you going back to America, Gary?
Yeah, what's that all about, Gary?
Gotta go.
He's got that long flight again.
He might have a STD or something.
STD? So you poured your driveway now, Tony?
Yeah. Fucking guys are 2 buckets, man. They're up to 4 buckets now.
You're gonna have to take a nice little picture of it. Do you have a carport now to park your?
You know what? In? Yeah, I got a carport. I'm gonna be adding on to that.
Did it come on a wagon already mixed and just poured, or did you have to do it by hand?
Fucking do it by hand here.
Jesus, why do you get them a cement mixer?
Well, yeah, that's about 60,000. That's pretty cheap here to get one too.
Yeah.
They don't use the truck here. They just.
It'd be a lot quicker, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Kidding me? It's like if I'm not out there though, they would take a longer break or an unauthorized one. But as soon as I open that door, boom.
Back to work.
Well, we bought a bunch of stone, like 4 cubic, for the road in front of the house, a little bit to each side, because it was just ruddy from all the trucks coming up and down there. Everybody was having to walk from. They got to walk from, through that neighborhood out to the main road across the street from the river to get a ride into downtown. So they all dressed nice, So spent a little money on that. The inspector said, "Well, you should go to talk to the barangay captain about that. Let him know." What the fuck for?
Yeah.
I mean, they're supposed to. What they're supposed to be doing here by 2026 now. You got to remember where we're at. They're supposed to put in a concrete road just like the nice one they laid along the main road. But the thing of it is, my land is elevated, but the road is 5 feet higher than the neighborhood.
Right.
So I don't know how much of a, up on the main road, they did like a 4 inch or 5 inches, good 5 inches actually. But
hi, Gary.
Hey,
Gary, where's the girl? Did you get married yet? Or no?
we just celebrated our first anniversary.
Yeah, but did you get married yet though?
No, not yet.
Oh, you don't go by that 1 month anniversary, 2 months, and 6 months?
Yeah, we do.
No,
So,
man.
so it's 1 month.
We go by 1 monthsary, second monthsary.
You're gonna go, after about 6 or 8 of them, you're gonna go, what the?
Well, we just had our 12 monthsary, which was our anniversary.
Oh,
That's good.
ain't that sweet?
Yeah. Well, I usually go to sleep earlier. Everyone's sleeping now.
You don't do a little shagging there? You don't shag like Simon does.
No, can't keep up with me.
We'd want to, man. I feel like I was gonna fucking die if I did. You give me about 3 of them at the same time, I'm good.
You know, when I first got here, like I was in a hotel, which is Western style living, but now that I moved over here to where I'm at,
Disclosed location.
it's not Western style living.
So you're living like the locals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not totally. You know, well, like Kiko asked me, what do I miss? You know, and I said I miss a shower for one thing.
Bucket, man.
Yeah, that's how it is here.
Yeah, but you can get a shower fitted, put in.
Listen.
Easy
Now,
enough.
the water. I'll show you the water pressure. I'll show
I'm
you
gonna
the
give
water. I'll show you
I'm
the
gonna
water pressure.
I'm
I'll
gonna
show
give
you
you
the
a water.
Here's
I'm
the
gonna get a
water
water tank. I'm gonna get a water tank with a pump
Get a pump, yeah.
because
Here's my sink.
at certain times of the day the water doesn't flow good until
Well,
nighttime.
actually, we have 2 bathrooms in here, one
But
upstairs, one
If I have
downstairs.
11, if I have a 1,100 liter tank, then I won't have a problem.
Well,
Yeah,
our
you
water,
can get a water
our
pump
water-
down in the tank.
the water upstairs only comes on from 4:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m.
Wow. What about at night?
And upstairs, 4:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. That's when the water comes on upstairs.
It don't come on at night? That's just it?
That's it. It only comes on for 1 hour or every day.
Well, you need to get a tank.
So you gotta have sex at 4:30 in the
Tank and
morning.
a pump.
Well, I'm in a rental. So and now downstairs we have a bathroom and the kitchen sink, and we also have a faucet outside. But the water can only run on one at a time. So if it's running on outside, the other 2 don't work. If it's running, the other 2 don't.
Well, you know what? The water flow isn't that great during the day here, but once I have a tank there, and that tank's full with 1,100 liters in it, then it won't bother me. It won't affect me. You know.
I don't know what the water is here. Well, I mean, like I say, it's no pressure. So we do collect in a bucket upstairs, and you know, have to use that big cup.
Well,
Tabo.
once you rent a place that you don't have to have it upstairs like that?
Well, it's a good location, this house here, and
Walking
it's
distance.
two floors, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. And we're kind of used to it now, and it's a very good location. I mean, I'm right across the street from the, well, if I go outside the community, I'm right outside is across the road there. It's a main road. Is the clinic, medical clinic. I've been there 4 times already.
Clap about it there.
Well, my first time there, I was here for a month. Actually, at this place, I was here for like 2 weeks. I was staying in a hotel for about like 10 days. I couldn't sleep, and I lost my appetite.
You had too much
So,
foam.
So no, it was the weather. It's like it's 100% humidity here at night, you know?
Yeah, but
So my girlfriend was worried about this too, and so she said, "Well, let me go out and get an air conditioner." So she went out and bought an air conditioner, so that helped. And then I went to the clinic, and they took, blood tests, EKG, and X-ray, and just actually, what the problem was, I wasn't walking.
yeah,
I wasn't. I was just staying inside the house. So just walking immediately brought back my appetite. They gave me some vitamins too, and so.
Well, I got them 2-foot turds here, man. Jeez.
Well, the second time I went to the clinic,
You're
I
itching?
went for to renew a prescription that I had run out of one of my blood pressure medicines. So I forget what was that one.
Lodipine.
But
Don't
the
get
thing,
Ali.
well, every time I go there to the clinic, I get a different doctor. There's like the 4 times I've been there, I got 4
Which
different doctors,
doctor?
and they don't write any notes down. So it's like
You can't read them.
you have to repeat every time you go there what your situation is.
So they
Look,
don't keep a file.
look, I understand.
They have no file. They just listen. Now, what I like about this is when they take your blood and your
Yeah.
X-ray and the EKG, they give them to you, and you can go anywhere with them. Any doctor.
You got to run them to the next doctor. They don't have the computer system there like they do in the West.
Exactly. So they don't have like that. So I went to another doctor, and he the third time. So they said they'd like to have a echocardiogram. So I went to the hospital and had that done, an echo.
Was it
And
out?
then I brought it back to the fourth doctor and showed him all the results. And he said, I thought I'd have to go to a cardiologist to get everything regulated, But he said, I don't see here that you'd have to go to a cardiologist. I'd like to change your blood pressure medicine to another one because I don't think you can get that one medicine here. This doctor used to be a pharmacist. So he said, I don't think you can get that one here. So let me change that. And I want you to take a different vitamin pill. I'm taking now that Centrum Silver. We can get that in the US. And he said, you have no trouble walking. I mean, I walk, I walk to the mall. It's about 2 kilometers. And I have no problem walking.
Does he tell you to cut down on sexual activity or increase? That'll get the heart going.
Yeah. Well, my heart is fine, apparently. No, I have only one problem with my heart is I have an enlarged heart. But that was because when I was younger, I was into athletics.
Yeah.
In college, I ran cross country, the 2-mile run on high hurdles and things.
Took an 880. That was a mile. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Cross country once in a while. I stopped the puke. Bolt that.
Yeah, the cross country, I was pretty good at cross country, but the other ones I wasn't very good at. And also, I was out for wrestling, and I'm 6'3", and I wrestled 133-pound class.
Well, it's not good to run a cross country on a Saturday morning after you've been out drinking on a Friday night.
Well, I don't drink, so
So why are you going back to the States, Gary?
I'm just going back to, actually, um, I'm going back when my girlfriend's sister, who lives with us, when she's finished school for the year, so she'll go back home to her family, and my girlfriend can go back there too. We'll close up the house here, and I'll go back because I did. I think I left some stuff there. I thought I cleared out everything, but I think I left some stuff because I was working all day cleaning up stuff and throwing away stuff. I had like 13 trash bags worth, and but I think I still have a few things. So I'm going back, and when I get back there, I'm gonna make symbolic buy-on boxes and send them here. So I'm going to send one that filled up food stuff, different things to our family, and
You
one
mean
to us.
you left
and,
the
like
bags are where you used to live? Don't you think your landlord got rid of them?
Yeah, they got rid of them. Yeah, I threw about 5 away. A friend of mine took me to a recycle trash center, and I threw 5 away, but I left 13 bags for the owner to throw away, and he threw them away. But I still had a few things there because I had worked all day cleaning this stuff up, and I can't remember actually if I cleared off some stuff. And I did leave some stuff for him, but he said he'll just save it there if I come back. So I'm going to come back and put them in a buy-on box and other stuff from Costco and send it.
$1.
Yeah, so. But I came with very little. I mean, I only had a backpack and one of those carry-on suitcases, which is pretty small, So I have very little here.
But your clothes are big because you're a tall guy.
Yeah, I have a lot of these T-shirts, but I have
You can buy them in the store.
I don't even, back in the U.S., I wore jeans all the time, blue jeans. Here, I don't wear them because they're too hot, But I just wear sport pants.
My feet are all dried up because I'm drinking enough water, so I gotta put my shoes on when I go to the mall. Otherwise, these women they look at your feet and they look like they're disgusted. They don't look as good as theirs. I could really give a shit myself.
Yeah, I wear compression socks, so
I probably should too once in a while. My feet are.
I wear shoes.
My feet are like bare feet.
Yeah, I wear compression socks when I go out, and I wear shoes. So, but I did, how when you walk, some people walk like their feet are very straight. Some are out a little slightly, a little duck. Some are pigeon-toed, But I walk straight, but I have found that it's better to walk a little duck here for balance.
With your arms out?
Sidewalks, you're not always walking on a sidewalk, it's sometimes out in the street.
Sidewalks are here as a name.
And another thing I noticed, when I'm walking, if the traffic is behind me coming and I'm walking, I always, if I have to go around a vehicle or something that's parked out a little bit, I stop and look back to see if it's clear, so I can walk around. But I've noticed the Filipinos in front of me, they don't look back at all. They just walk around.
Like college students in the U.S.
But the one thing that I do dislike very much is the road outside of my community. It's a 4-lane, and It's a very dangerous crossing.
Did anybody call you Moses?
It's not even safe at the crosswalks. I mean, the crosswalks, it's the same as no crosswalk, you know?
Yeah, you gotta play Frogger, man. You gotta,
Yeah, people do not have the right of way here.
no. Matter of fact, listen, I was turning onto my road on my house, off of a 2-lane road, and this fucking idiot motorcycle goes on the left and passes me as I'm turning.
Oh, geez.
Then they look back like I was like, I couldn't get the fucking door open fast enough to jump out. What fucking stupid can you be? If I would have turned, they'd have been fucked up.
Well, this road out here is 4-lane. In the morning, it's rush hour, and it's all one way going into the city.
What island you on? You in Leyte or Samar?
What'd you say?
Are you in Leyte or Samar?
Yeah, I'm in Leyte. I'm in Tacloban City.
Oh, Taco.
Tacloban
Yeah,
City.
I've been through there. The year they had the 3 months before they had the typhoon.
Yeah, they did once. Yeah, I think in 2013 or something.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, I always
But
remember that.
It's pretty nice here, though. I mean, it's pretty quiet except right across the little road here. I live on a street that's a dead end, and it's not very wide. So cars, if they go up frontwards, they'll have to back out.
Yeah,
See any more foreigners close by, Gary?
What's that?
Any more foreigners living close by?
No, I really haven't seen any.
as tall as
I see them in the mall, though. There's a large mall here. It's Robinson Mall. It's a very modern mall. It's really nice. 3 stores, 3 floors and things. A real beautiful mall. And I've seen foreigners in there.
I always have ones walking past me a couple of times until I finally look up and then they say hi.
Yeah, they don't really here. They don't really.
Don't associate with foreigners, man. They're the guys.
No, they don't make any eye contact or anything. I look over there, but if they look my way, I would say hi, but they don't.
There's a guy that got kids to go to my kids' school. He's got a truck like mine, but he's always tried. But I'm like, I don't need to know it. I know enough people already. I don't need it anymore. That's just the way I am.
I found that the people here, it's just like the U.S. They pass here, it's not, they don't acknowledge, say hi or anything. But, I did notice that you can't really learn Filipino here because you may say "Cómo está" to somebody, but they're not expecting that. They're expecting you to say hello. So they're not listening for any Filipino language from you.
What you say before any conversation, and I got to remind myself is whatever part of the day it is. Good morning. If you're gonna have a problem or you got a problem with some leaky pipe, you don't start blurting it out right away and going crazy because you're not gonna be very they're not gonna help you like you normally would if you were considerate. Not everybody. There's always a disclaimer. Not everyone is polite.
Well, I did notice one thing though different here than in the U.S. In the U.S., adults ask you for money. Here, only children. I've never had any adult ask me for money.
I always hold my hand out. Why don't you give me some?
I know. When you say hi to them, they just hold their hand out. They don't even talk.
But the guy in back of me's got a shitload.
Yeah, I don't give out the money to kids either. I gave one little kid a Gatorade one time because I was walking back from the hospital, and I didn't have any change for the trike. So I walked into a 7-Eleven to get some change, and I bought a Gatorade. And so when I came out, that little kid who had his hand out, I just gave him the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
I just say Hindi, no Hindi, and keep walking.
Yeah, I just, when I'm in traffic, I come walking, knocking on the door.
Oh, do they?
So a lot of them have a license to bag. Did you know you have one here for native Filipinos? They got a big ID way around their neck. They love IDs here, and it's from the government, and that gives them a license to bag.
Oh. One thing I was very surprised at here in the Philippines is I was thinking I'd see like massive number of motorcycles, but actually I see more vehicles than I do motorcycles.
Dude, Gary, the people that ride scooters here go in between, go over the double line in the middle. Sometimes I won't let them in at all when they try turn it a little bit and get an inch
Yeah.
here, inch there. Depends what kind of mood I'm in, you know. But
Yeah.
they do dumb shit. They get you killed.
Yeah. Oh, same with the trikes. I mean, they just look for the traffic coming that they're crossing that your way, but otherwise they don't really look where
No,
they're pulling into. They just pull in.
yeah, the other side of the road, they'll do it both ways and nothing of it. You know, when you're already doing 40 and they just turn it in front of you. If you hit them, you hit them, you know.
Yeah, but hopefully they don't get hit because I'm riding it.
Well, I almost got stuck one time where I went to pass the slow-mo stuff because it was like driving me crazy. And all of a sudden I'm to where I got to turn and I hit the brakes, you know. And everybody looks at, something wrong with this fucker, you know.
Well, but actually, I'm quite pleased here. I like the cash on delivery, the COD,
Good.
where you order something and you pay when it comes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you're carrying your own records all around for the medical. You know, you carry wherever you go, and right here where also the pharmacy, when you get a prescription filled, they give you the prescription back.
Yeah.
They don't
Gary,
keep it.
Gary, don't never, if you go to a place and they don't ask, you show them the bottle and they don't ask, don't volunteer any information. If that thing's 6 months old, you know, don't you hand it to them, you go, yeah, I need a refill. Most times they won't say nothing about it. Because I got a printout.
I did notice that what they do with the prescription is when they do give you like 90 pills, whatever, they circle it. So if I took it somewhere else, they would see the cells.
I got to go back to a doctor for this amitriptyline I take. And because the pharmacy won't refill them anymore, because when we go there, I take 100 milligram pill. They only have 25s. So I have to get 4 of them. And I do 4 each day. So I'll go and get 90 or 120. They go, oh, what are you doing with all these pills? Well, because you don't have 100, I got to get it in 25. What the fuck do you think, man? I mean, why in the world? I don't even know what these medications would do to somebody that doesn't need them. I don't know what kind of effect they have. You know, I only know about my shit.
Well, I was also taking a 80 milligram low dosage. I thought it'd be good to know for the blood thinner. But the doctor told me not to take that. He said, if a doctor didn't prescribe that, don't take it.
Doctor told me, you don't have cholesterol, it's perfect. You don't need to take that pill no more. Oh, I don't want to take a fucking chance. You know, I'm going what do you call it? I forget what it's called. You have to clean your arteries out. keep them clean. Well, what is that stuff called?
So so Simon, your girls are getting big now, aren't they? What's their age now?
15, the oldest.
Got a
Wow.
boy? Ooh.
How they doing? How they doing in school?
Mia's doing very well in school. She's always student of the week.
Oh wow, that's good.
But Lily's a little fucker.
Little what?
The youngest one's a little so and so. We always get bad reports about her.
Naughty girl, huh?
She's a naughty one.
No, you know that, eh?
Yeah. Well, they always say the youngest is the worst.
They do, you know. In fact, they say that because the oldest, when they're first born, they have all the attention. See, so when the second one's born, the older one does very well in school, so they get back that attention.
Oh yeah, I never witnessed that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. My brother also same. My brother's older than me, and he did very well in school, more than I did. I thought I did not too bad, but I found that my mother saved all my report cards, and I looked at them recently.
Yep, son. Yeah.
I see that I did worse than I thought I did. I know I did bad, but I didn't know I did that bad.
Well,
I did better when I actually made.
I never liked school, man. I never liked it from the time I remember going. I just didn't like it. I mean, the things I learned, I would have learned anyway. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I just,
trade school are the way to go.
I missed 3 months one time. This one school I went to, and before I transferred, I went there for something after school, and I was outside before the bell rang, and they suspended me.
Oh, jeez.
The principal saw me. He didn't like white people anyway, but Fucker was always. So when I went to a different school, if you missed one day, they were on the phone. So at the time that school was in a different district, aside from where I was from. So they looked at the phone number. They go, "Hey, that's an odd exchange there." That don't start. The numbers are start with in this area. But we had the first. We had went to Bayview. That was the second high school, and we had the first African American principal, something Scott. I forget her first name, but I remember seeing her at the Christmas play because then everybody was done for the day, and she was really happy and clapping her hands, and smiling, and she died. She died the next day.
Oh,
Sarah, her name was Sarah Scott.
Sarah Scott.
Yep, they did a big article. They used to have this part of the newspaper here or there. They had what the hell it's called? But they had a full page photo of her.
Yeah.
She finally made it.
Well, I've had 3 of my girlfriends die already.
Oh, dude, my track coach died, man. He was 8.
Oh, nice.
He was born in 47. His name was John.
Simon,
Beautiful.
bah humbug.
Beautiful person, man. Excellent.
Yeah, the good guys always die early.
Oh, and man, he was on a trip to France, and he slipped and fell, and went into a coma. I used to tell him, because my dad always wanted more trophies and ribbons, and I told the coach one time he's looking for somebody to run the mile. I said, well, if you give me a third place, at least a third place ribbon, I'll go. I'll do it. Not knowing I had to actually finish in third or better to get it. But he was a social studies major, so he was a guidance counselor, and I forgot the last. He retired when he was like 50 or 55.
So you were
And
the
the last
original participation trophy kid. Huh?
That's what I'm trying to do, Tony.
the last two years of his career, he went to another school, and I had forgotten about that when I read the article when he died, and it was mentioned. I think they ran him out of the high school because people were getting too friendly with him.
Yeah, but Simon, you still got those two finish school and then have to go to university. You're tied down
but
for years.
I'm working on a plan, hopefully in the next 2 years.
Oh, listen, we had a decathlon, and I was the first sophomore class in the new school. It still looks beautiful. They really did a good job of it was built in 77. And so the old subdivision was next. There was a field in between the old school and the new one. We didn't have a indoor track facility. So we ran track on the second floor around the whole building. And I finished in fourth. We had the decathlon. I finished in fourth place out of 68 guys.
Wow.
And I didn't even practice. I didn't. I had an issue with my nerves and shit back then. I didn't even know it.
Look,
What's
all
that?
Well, look at that. It looks
Hey,
cold.
You had some nice Halloween decorations, Simon. You always do it real good at Halloween.
I look at that and makes my nipples get
all
hard.
the leaves have got a rake up off the oak tree.
How can you
What's
live?
Gary, Gary, he was born with that mask. He gets to wear it all year.
How can you live in that gloom like that?
I've got to rake them all up.
Yeah, I did the wife for that. Give it a.
Well, she was out doing it. I says, don't waste your time because there's still leaves on the tree. Wait for them all to drop.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
right.
they're wet though, right? Otherwise, you get a mulcher.
Yeah, that's how I get rid of them.
I chop them up. I have the bag open because they're biodegradable, so I leave the
But
bag open.
it's I envy you guys because it's cold here. Don't know about where Kiko is, but here it's -3 this morning.
Yeah, I thought it was 18
Wow.
degrees. No, it's 20 right now. Partly sunny and
That's
20.
one thing I'm liking about the Philippines, always nice.
Same,
And,
same here, Simon. -3.
Yeah,
-3.
I've had to put the gas central heating on.
Let me see what the current temperature is. Here.
What do you do about the pigeons when it's cold like that? How are
Pigeons
they?
have got feathers; they don't get cold.
He sleeps with them, man. But look.
Pigeons don't feel the cold, Gary.
They
Hey,
don't?
I'm free today. My wife and daughters just left. They're going out Black Friday with
Oh, for the sales.
friends. So
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but they're only selling
Got her
off all
full-
the old stuff, Kiko.
Hey, Gary, do you carry your wallet in your front pocket?
No, I carry a like a neck wallet that goes around.
yeah,
Like a book
Yeah,
bag.
I got that
Yeah.
too. I got used to wearing that. I used to laugh at people when I saw them when I was younger. Look at that fucking
Yeah, me
old fuck.
too. Me too. Yeah, I thought it was like.
So what
a gay-
saying, Tony, that you wear a purse round your shoulder now?
I got that little sling thing, man. If you got a regular wallet, you got so many bills in there. It's like a wad, because
Simon, our oldest daughter just got her first full paycheck today. The one that graduated university in April. She
Oh yeah.
got
wow.
she got a job as a software engineer with her software development firm. So she's been working for 3 weeks. So
Very good.
got her first paycheck today. So
Yeah, but I hope
guess it's burning a hole in her pocket.
I hope she paid a keep first.
Nope. Nope. Come Come on, Simon. You know they all live for free.
Oh yeah, definitely. I say to these two,
Yeah.
when you start working, you have to pay rent.
Can't tell a Filipino mother though. I tried to tell my wife. I said, look, she's 20. She's going to be 22 in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I said it's about time for her to start paying her way through life.
Well, you've got to teach them.
My wife's saying, "Oh, you want to kick her out?" I said, "No, I don't want. She can live here. She just got to contribute a little bit, you know."
Yeah, yeah.
I said, "I don't care if she lives here. Just help with earn her keep. I don't need it, but she's got to learn that it's not free."
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got a budget for it.
In her in her 3 years at university, she worked 3 different jobs, you know, and lived in her own apartment. And I said, "Hey," so she knows that it costs money to live.
Yep.
And it doesn't suddenly turn free now that she's back home.
She's back home, so she doesn't have to pay no bills.
Right. Right.
Well, she'll probably take a picture of that first paycheck and.
Well, they don't get paper paycheck, you know, Gary. They electronically deposited.
My boss.
All you can take a picture of is your online bank statement, right?
My boss in 1985 goes, "You should frame that, not cash it." I'm fucking $300 some, man. That was
That's right. I worked 80 hours, 40 hours for that.
I was in my 20s, early to mid 20s. I worked second shift. It was beautiful. I go out and drink after the work and sleep.
We
all
get
morning.
paid Friday. By Monday morning, we'd be broke again.
Stand in line on a Friday night in the bank with everybody else.
Yeah, we call it in England, Kiko. We call it get paid Friday, we skint by Monday.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel bad about Prince Harry. I wish he would get back with his family there.
He can't. He's been disowned. He was messing about with P. Diddy.
Yeah, I know. He needs to get back. You know. Except Prince William is very.
That's all right. That's
stubborn.
not his
He's
blood
stubborn.
family, anyways, right, Simon?
Well, Harry's only a royal on his mother's side. His father
Right.
was a corporal in the army.
Right. Wasn't he a polo player?
Yeah, but he's got that.
James Hewitt.
Well,
He's
that
got
hasn't been proved.
He's got that bald head like his
Gary.
brother.
All you've got to
Gary-
do is look at 2
Gary,
photographs.
did you ever see a picture of him beside us?
You only have to look at 2
I
photos.
did. I know it does look like him exactly. Yeah.
Back in the day before DNA, that was pretty much the only way. If you showed a picture side by side, most normal human beings could figure it out.
That's true.
Right.
It's a shame though that he should be back there, but I think they say his wife is controlling this.
No, that never happened.
She gives him a little head, and she's a. I'm gonna get going to bed.
I
Okay.
am going to bed. In fact, hey, I wanted to ask you, Tony, how do you? What is your phone service? How do you call back to the U.S.?
Oh.
What do you do?
Oh, I haven't done that yet. I only go through Messenger.
Oh, I tried that Magic Jack, but it wasn't really clear to me. It didn't work that great for me.
You're better off using Messenger or WhatsApp.
So what I do is I do an add-on to my my phone. I have just a prepaid phone, and I just do a 7-day add-on for $35. For the month.
Yeah,
I do 7 days. And I call back. No problem.
you gotta ask them that. You gotta call when you go say, look, I need to make a call from here to the U.S. If you're on the line with Social Security out of Chicago, you could be on the phone for an hour waiting. It's always best. It's always best to call the local one where you live.
Are you going to bed, Tony?
I have a VPN too, so they think I'm in the U.S.
What you're on a promise?
You think I'm in the
Tony's
US?
on a promise.
What?
You're on a promise?
Promise?
Can't hear you.
What's that?
Pro-
Tony's on a promise. He's going to bed.
I am. Man.
Okay,
But
good night, Tony.
one thing that's very good about the Magic Deck, though, is I have a local number for Maryland, and if anybody calls that number, I get a message on my email, my Gmail account, that I was called, and it tells me from what number. And now they can leave a message if they want, but if they don't, it doesn't matter. I still get a message that they called me, and then I can call them back on my. I'll do my other number, my mobile number, because that's a landline number that I have.
I'll be back again next week.
Okay.
Okay,
see y'all.
Tony. Take care.
Good night.
Thank
Simon.
you. Thank you for everybody. Hey, Simon, you got to come to the Philippines soon.
I will come. When I come, I'm going to come and see Gary and you.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, guys, see you next week. See you next
Catch
week.
you later.
Thanks for
Bye bye.
talking,
Bye-bye.
Jerry.